What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Patriots Specialized. Today's episode, we're going to cover first two loads with the new trailer. Stick around. Going to be interesting.
We ride across these plains and prairies, rocky mountain highs, fade off into the distance like ghost riders in the sky. Black smoke and white line, steel horses side by side. It's more than just a living, y'all. Hell, it's our way of life. We're the last of the cowboys.
All right, guys, so if you watched my last episode, you saw that I got the new trailer. We got the XL 110 HDG 55-ton RGN. Gonna cover on this episode, we're gonna cover the first two loads, what we got with it. Right after I got it, the very next day, very next morning, I ended up loading a load out of Wisconsin going to Vermont. Now, that load, special thanks to the broker. If you guys are watching, the agent that I got the load from, special thanks to them. They hooked me up with a really good load. I had something important to do at the end of last week with the family, and I needed a load out of Iowa, Wisconsin area to get me through the house, but either deliver right there the next day or give me somewhere I can deliver the following week. And they delivered big time on this. They allowed me to pick it up, hold it on a trailer for 4 or 5 days, and then run it up on the following Monday. So that was fantastic, and I appreciate that. So what I had there, the load I got, I didn't get any video while I was doing it. Kind of trying to learn this trailer, and I was more worried about that than putting the video camera out, but I'll tell you a little bit about it. I did get some pictures. This thing was a manure pump on a trailer. They call it a booster pump. Now this thing was pretty sweet. The dimensions on it were 8 foot. It was a legal load. It was supposed to be a legal load, and it ended up being one after some modification. But it was a 8 foot 3 inches wide. Supposed to be 12 foot tall, which I thought might be an issue with the new trailer because 22-inch deck height, but I have 5 ride height adjustments. I thought I could get it under it. Turned out that really wasn't the problem, but we got it on the trailer, and it turned out that there was a muffler for the exhaust system sticking straight up out the top of this thing. So when we got it on a trailer and I got rehooked back to it and I got everything to ride height, I started looking at that exhaust up on top, and I'm like, man, that thing looks awfully high for being 12 foot. That looked really high. So I took a measurement on it real quick. Turned out on the trailer, that thing was sitting at 14 foot 4 inches tall. As we all know, 13.6 is legal, 14.4 is a serious problem. Serious problem, not only because it's over height, but because in New York, which you got to go through to get to Vermont, no matter how you slice it, you got to go through it. The requirements at 14.4 high are you got to get a route survey, you have to have an escort. There is a lot that goes on there to go through New York with a 14 foot high load. So I walked inside. After I measured, I walked inside. I said, hey guys, we got a little problem. This thing is 14 foot 4 inches tall, and I'm sure you guys don't really want to pay for a route survey and an escort and all that other stuff. So I'm thinking we need to do something to bring this height down, and I got a couple ideas, and they were like, sure, man, we absolutely don't want to pay for that stuff. So if there's anything we could do to avoid paying for that, let's do it. So I told him the muffler was sticking straight up out of the top of this machine and bolted to a frame. And the frame for it was a lot lower than the muffler itself. So I said, if we pull a measurement on that, I think we're going to be under height. I think if we just, how tough is it to unbolt that muffler? And they were like, man, unbolting that muffler is no big deal. It's like 6 bolts. They might be a little bit rusty, but we'll get them off there. So I said, I think if we take that muffler off the top, we're going to be in good shape. We'll be able to run this thing legal. So they monkeyed around with it for a little bit. It took them a few minutes to get the bolts out and everything, but they did a great job. Did it super fast. Didn't say a word about it. They were just like, okay, what do we got to do to make this happen? So we got it done. Took a measurement on it. We ended up being 13.6. So it was perfect. Perfect. I had to drop the ride height down on the trailer to get us to that 13.6. We were actually like 13.8 when we started out, but then I dropped the ride height on the trailer, got us down to 13.6. Everything was great, and off I went. Super cool people. Can't say enough good things about them up there in Wisconsin. That was great of them. And then I got to delivery on Monday, and just as nice people. Was going to a farm. The gentleman stood there and talked to me for probably 20-25 minutes, telling me all about the machine and what it can do and what it doesn't do, what it's for, and how they're going to use it. It was really neat to find out about it. Kind of cool to learn about the things that you haul, since it's always different stuff. So I can't say enough about that, but we got that delivered. I ended up getting a call on Friday while I was doing the family stuff. I got a call from an agent on Friday that said, hey, they had a problem and they needed a Bradley tank moved out of York down to Anniston. I said, I can't be there Monday, but I could definitely get there Tuesday. So that's what I ended up doing. Got that thing delivered, bounced down to York, picked up a Bradley tank to go to Anniston, Alabama, and that's where we are right now. So we will pick this up right now and we'll show you this this Bradley tank, and we will go get that thing delivered. Be right back.
Pull up, driver. Pull up a little more. You're not quite on the scale. All right, hold it there. Pull in the rod. Bring your permit inside.
But we got that one delivered up in Vermont. That was a super good delivery. Trailer and I got along a little bit better. We did not get along when I picked that thing up. I had a heck of a time getting the pin to latch back in, which I knew was a problem. People, the XL guys had told me, my buddies that run XLs had told me that that's a thing. Those pins are a pain in the butt. One friend of mine showed me a little trick, or told me a little trick to do, and it worked out fantastic. Basically, when you can't get that pin to lock in, what he told me to do was release the trailer brakes with the eyelets inside the pins. Release the trailer brakes, lift up about 1.5 feet or so, then set your trailer brakes and then set everything back down, and that'll force the two together and it gets that pin to lock right in. So that little trick worked out perfect. Ended up not having to use it yesterday when I got this thing loaded, but we do have the 4th axle down, and we are going to talk about that as soon as we get out of the truck wash here. I'm gonna pull around the other side. We're gonna check out the truck, make sure it's okay on the wash, and then I will show you the load and show you what we had to do. We had to do some finagling to get the axles right on this thing. We're kind of lopsided right now. We got 4 axles in the back and my tandem axle on the truck with my steer tires, so it's we're a little bit lopsided right now, but we made it work, and I think we can make it work until the new truck's ready. But you know, these are all things you got to do, so be right back. Got all washed up. Go out and show you this thing. Ghost is all clean now. This dang sign. That poor sign has seen better days. I think maybe it might be time for a new one. What we got right here. All right, so what we got is a Bradley AMPV. This thing is weighs in at about 65,000 pounds. Well, actually, it's dead on 65,000 pounds. Had to do some tricky stuff in order to get the weight right, because we got the 4 axles in the back and 2 axles for drive tires instead of 3. So Had to do a little bit of tricky stuff to get it, move some stuff around in order to get the weight right. But what I did with it, same as my other trailer, I had to push this thing all the way to the back in order to get this right. I have to have the axle down, the 4th axle, I have to have it down because I'm a little bit over what you can permit on 3. But also, there are some states that if you're on an overweight permit and you have the ability to put an axle down, it has to be down. So even if you're 2 pounds over and you're on an oversized permit or overweight permit, you have to put that axle down. So I put it down, needed it anyway, so it really wasn't any big deal. But I put it down and shoved this thing all the way to the back, took it like right up against the step back there, because getting this thing in Virginia, getting the tandems under 44,000, well, they wanted me at 40. The original permit we got said 40 on these axles, and getting that with 65,000 pounds on the trailer, when this trailer weighs 8,000 pounds more than the other one, that was kind of tricky. So what I did in order to move some weight around is I took the kingpin out of the 84 hole, put it in the 110. Then I ended up moving my 5th wheel, which is sitting up here now, is usually all the way back here. See where the ramps come up? With the manual detach, I have to have the 5th wheel all the way back against these ramps in order to get that trailer to transition right up the ramps onto the 5th wheel. So with this setup, I'm able to move the 5th wheel around a little bit. So what I did there was I went to the 110 hole, stretch myself out a little bit longer. Essentially, that made the center of the trailer a foot, well, 25 inches more forward than what it was, because I moved the kingpin. So it basically, in a way, it makes the trailer longer, makes the center in a different place. So that gave me more ability to put stuff on the back of it. So what I did, I moved into the 110 hole on the kingpin, and then I slid the 5th wheel 21 inches forward. Now, the trick there, because nothing's simple, it's all complicated in one way or another, is you can't be any more than 85 foot long overall without needing an escort. So 85 foot is the escort requirement. With the axle down, when I was in the 110 setting with my 5th wheel all the way back, that would have put me at 86 foot long, 86 foot 1 inch. So we had to make some adjustment there to get under the 86 foot. And the way it worked out was I went into 110, slid forward 20, I think it was 21 inches, got us down under. We actually ended up being about 84 foot 4 inches long. So we're in good shape there, but that was what we had to do. That also, amazingly, that did a lot for my weight. These are things that I got to figure out exactly, moving this stuff and how to get the weight to go where it needs to. I got a good idea. I've done this for a while, so I got a really good idea, but this is still like I'm learning this trailer. I think this setup right here, the way it's currently sitting, is going to be the best one we've got, and it's going to get us the most ability for now until we get the other truck. So there you go, guys. Securement on this thing, as I said, 65,000 pounds, shoved it all the way back. Securement on it, I did it same as I always do. I did 3 chains in the back all the way across, and 3 chains on the other end, again all the way across on those 2, give us 6 chains holding in 65,000. We need 32,500 pounds of securement, so we're in great shape there. Everything, I will say, with my 5th wheel slid forward and setting up this way, I am in, it rides so much better. It rides real smooth. Been real happy with that. So looking pretty good. We are going to, this thing delivers in Anniston. I'm gonna get it down there in about, I should be there in about 3.5 hours. Get this thing delivered, and I don't have anything booked after this yet, but I got my eyeball on a couple things, so we're gonna see what I can put together on my way down there, and we're gonna get this done. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Well, there you saw it. We ended up getting down to delivery at about, oh man, I think it was about 10:30 Central Time that I got to delivery on that thing. Got checked in through security, got my gate pass, ran right back to where we deliver those things, got spun around, got everything detached. Was sitting there, and they, I don't know what happened there, but I was sitting there for about 2 hours or so, a little under 2 hours. And then they finally came out and unloaded. It turned out not to be a big deal because the load I got booked right before I got there. I booked a load from one of our agents coming out of Mississippi, going right back up to Michigan. Pretty good load. Certainly nothing that we need this specific trailer for, but it's going to be nice to have it, and I'm looking forward to that. So what we got going on tomorrow, stick around for the next episode because it's going to be pretty interesting. We are going to Milwaukee Tool in Grenada, Mississippi, and we are loading up a charge car is what they called it. I have no idea what that is. I can't find anything on the internet about it. I have no idea what Milwaukee Tool would make that would be called a charge car, but that's what it's called, and that's what we're going to get. We're going to load that tomorrow morning. We're going to run that up to Michigan and hopefully deliver Friday morning and put something else on a trailer to get us through into the beginning of next week. So I appreciate everybody watching. If this is your first time on the channel, if you enjoyed what you saw, hit that like button. Also, if you want to see more, consider hitting that subscribe button. I appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody's likes and shares and comments. It's really cool to see what everybody, I try to answer everybody. I'm not always best at it, but I do the best I can. So I appreciate everybody watching. And until the next time, guys, everybody stay safe out there. What's going on, guys? Welcome back, Patriots.
3.5 miles. Turn right on Kingston Pike.
A couple pictures, and that was a little bit tricky. The trailer, we didn't get along so well that first day, but I think we sat around a campfire long enough. We sang "Kumbaya" and we got to know each other, and I think we're working this out. So actually, it was almost a week later. Interesting.